Yo, what's up? If you are having the what is this moment where I've seen them on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, is it worth it type deal? For me, yes. If you're thinking, man, do I want this or do I want like a Razor or a Can-Am? For one, don't get a Razor, get a Can-Am if you're wanting to just go stupid, reckless, crazy, and not have it street legal. I know there's some states where you can get your side by side street legal with a street legal kit. Here in Virginia, um, we get in trouble for walking in our yard. So just the sheer grace of God, this state let us get this a tag. So thank you, off road God. This is a 2017 Reaper 4. Um, they're kind of like big from what I understand, like everywhere, like overseas. Not really big here. I saw one on the road, piqued my curiosity, and I'm going to go through what I think are the pros, and then I'm going to go through what I think the downside to this is compared to, we'll say, a Can-Am, because they're way better than Polaris's. So the pros that I like for this, I have a kid, he's 5 years old. He loves doing white trash stuff with daddy. We like mudding, we like fishing, and my four-wheeler, I can put them on it, but I just sometimes I don't feel like some of the holes we try to hit. It scares me. I don't want them on there. And then my girl likes riding too, so this thing suits our needs in that aspect. And that puppy right there sometimes likes to go riding when she's not barking and pooping in the house. So some more pros. This suspension that it came with, I don't even know the brand of it. Like I said, this thing's as new to me as it is you guys, but it's awesome. It really is awesome. Like, we drive it on the road and there's bumps that we hit in our cars at like 40, 50 miles an hour, and this thing soaks it up. I got some trails out behind my house and it does amazing. Another big pro, this is something that blew me away, other than it being a frame on body. So that's pretty cool. You actually have a, let's see if you can see it, like an actual frame that runs all the way down, and your body comes on there. And then all I've found of lift kits is body mounts, just body mount lift. But that's pretty awesome. It's full metal body. Everything you see is gray as metal. But the thing that I liked, two things actually that I liked the most, I was looking at a lot of Can-Ams and side by sides. And these two little sticks down here, front and rear lockers. That's just a huge thing. Like, I can't believe that everyone's not putting front and rear lockers in side by sides. In this case, you have to pay like another $1,500 to get one into your side by side, and a $20,000. Like, it's like 20 grand for a purpose built off road. I just feel like front and rear lockers should just be in all like name brand side by sides right now. And then this thing from Durkaland or wherever the hell it's from, it just comes stock with them, and that's awesome. Suspension's awesome. The tires it comes with are not bad at all. It's got a full cage, and we got the top on ours, but you can see the cage runs all the way through, all the way top. It's actually pretty sturdy cage. I wouldn't go roll it on purpose by no means, but that's with everything. Back here, motor, little dual exhaust. We'll look at the motor in a second. This motor is an actual car motor. It's not like your side-by-side motor with your little spinny belts that gets wet and then you can't drive nowhere. This thing gets like 150,000 miles on it, which is another thing that's like awesome for longevity. It's a Cherry inline motor. It's 1100 cc's, and Cherry was, I believe, not 100%, but this is what I just think I found out, was sold to them by GM. And this little motor they threw on all their cars in China, and they're one of like the bigger like manufacturers in China. So this is an actual car motor. Like, granted, we bought this one with 700 miles on it. There's no way I would buy a Polaris for 10 grand with like 8,000 miles or anything like that. So once those motors get like 2,000 miles, I know my Razor 800 I had like 2,500 miles, and it was ready to shit the bed. Like, this thing, we're expecting to get like at least 50,000 out of it. I've seen people who gotten more, but that's like the big things that I like about it. We'll go over some of the compartments, the interior. Now this thing will run 65 miles an hour, getting it. Street legal. And by street legal, don't let them confuse you because they market it as street legal. You'll get, well, for instance, in Virginia, you will get what's called a slow moving vehicle tag. And that pretty much just allows you to ride anywhere the scooters are. Stuff that's kind of crazy, gas tanks all up here. Like all your other stuff, your motors in the back. Put all the fun stuff up here in the front. Big complaints. Right there you can see where all that dust and settlement is. That water V's down in there. That's like one of the things I've found out, that people are getting water in their tanks. And I'm probably just going to try to fill that with some kind of magic, so it won't get in there no more. But that's like the big complaint up here. That's your little hood. Mercedes emblem fits perfect in there, and we literally, anyone who asks, but go, it's a Mercedes, I'm like, yeah, buddy. And we just tell them it's a Mercedes. It's funny. Alright, moving around. Another problem you'll have at some point is we bought ours with this door stuck right here. We fixed it, but all it is inside your door panel, right in here, this your little lock and your little magical components. You get all gummed up. You just break them open, WD-40 the piss out of them, and you're good to go. Here's a look inside. I mean, back seats, pretty spacious. Underneath your seats, you have like a little storage compartment. You can open this thing up and put all your stuff in there. It's not huge or opening. Jackpot. That's a pretty good little amount of room in there. I know one of the things like people are crying about is you don't have storage. You have one of those compartments underneath that seat. Ours came with a Memphis sound system. Now here's what people complain about the most. This is your glove box. This is my hand. I am not a big person. And there's your glove box. It's big enough for one cigarette lighter and your registration. That's it. 5-speed. That's awesome. I think it's cool. I like driving the side-by-sides with the automatics. Super sweet to just get in it and rip it. But I also like driving 5-speed. And this thing's 5-speed. The clutch on these things kind of lets out a little weird. So if you're used to driving a manual vehicle, this thing will take just about 7 seconds of getting used to. But the clutch is more just like a weird, there's no feather in it. Your friction zone's like pretty, like you'll feel it. And you don't even have to give it any gas to get it to roll, which is good for like my girl. She's like really driving a lot. So, but this is it. Honestly, for me, for what I want it for, I couldn't justify buying just like just a Razor. I couldn't, or a Can-Am. Like, we want to be able to beat this thing to the park and stuff and have a good time. Put our friends in it, family when they come over. We don't really go mudding in it as much as we go trail riding. So, I don't know how it's going to do in the mud. I imagine it would probably do all right with some different tires. It is quite long. These are 29s on there. So, but if you want something to go beat around like Busco Beach and sink it and stuff, I'd probably just stick with a side-by-side, like Can-Am, not Polaris. Unless you're rich and you buy the new Polarises. The new Kawasaki's are dope. We got to ride in one of those, like the whatever, thousands. It's insane. Like, so if you're just rich and want a dope-ass side-by-side, go buy one of the new Kawasaki 1000s. It sounds like a monster coming out of the hole, too. But this is the 2017 Reaper 4, and I love it. I'll get back with another video in like a couple thousand miles to see if it holds up. And if it don't, I'll write another video going, man, this is a big giant piece of shit. So, thanks for watching. I hope you guys answer some of your questions. You got any more questions? copy down, drop a comment, and I'll get back with you. But so far so good for me. I think if you're family oriented, you want to be able to drive it on the road and have like a fun little vehicle like this, it's money. So